Episode 126 to 127.
Damon found himself in a state of disbelief as he processed the unexpected turn of events unfolding in Naomi's office.
Didn't Naomi come to Hillwood to break off our engagement? To train me?
Irene, stop talking nonsense.
But Naomi,
We'll discuss this later. Let's focus on the matter at hand.
Naomi's sharp glare silenced Irene's slip of the tongue, redirecting the conversation with practiced ease.
Your family is not bad this time. Even I was not optimistic about the project of the peony garden. To be honest, although the scenery of the peony garden is good, if it cannot get involved with the city attractions, it is difficult to make money just by providing the venue for people to hold events and stuff. This time, you've met a big investor.
Naomi, who is this good for nothing?
Irene, please mind your words. He's a business associate.
Oh, really? And what exactly does he do?
That's not relevant to our discussion.
While Naomi and Irene maintained a facade of amicable relations, their underlying tensions simmered beneath the surface.
No? How can I know a jerk? Naomi, tell me the truth. Is he an employee of your company?
Well,
as Naomi attempted to piece together the unfolding situation, Irene's scrutinizing gaze swept over Damon, her curiosity piqued by his enigmatic presence.
Well. If it isn't the man of the hour. Care to enlighten us, mister?
Damon, and I'm merely here on business.
Damon's response was curt, his demeanor composed despite the mounting tension in the room.
Strange. He seems too comfortable here. Could he be?
This is the guy my family introduced to me. He's my assistant now.
Naomi's calm assertion did little to placate Irene's skepticism, her laughter echoing with disbelief.
Naomi, are you making me laugh on purpose? It's not a big thing if your family simply introduced you to a man. They could also introduce you to a lousy man. But this is far worse than that. Do you know that when we were downstairs just now, he was staring at me, as if he had never seen a woman in his life.
Staring at her? I won't look at her even if she begs me to, okay?
Damon's internal retort was laced with exasperation, but he maintained his composure in the face of Irene's accusations.
Irene, watch your words.
Naomi's tone was sharp, her eyes narrowing with thinly veiled hostility as she fixed her gaze on Damon.
However, if it's your family who introduces you to him, it's fine. But you came to Hillwood specifically to train such a man? This is so funny. You, Naomi, have always been famous for your high standard in Andover province. It turns out to be a false name.
Irene's mocking laughter reverberated through the room, punctuating her scathing critique of Naomi's purported standards.
Your mother asked me to come to Hillwood to persuade you. I didn't expect you to have this kind of taste. I don't think it's necessary to persuade you, you know. Naomi, you could just stay in Hillwood and enjoy yourself.
With a triumphant smirk, Irene rose from her seat and departed, leaving Naomi to stew in the wake of her biting remarks. Irene's encounter with Naomi left her in disbelief. Having not seen Naomi for half a month, she expected a different reaction. Irene, feeling triumphant, believed she had finally outshone Naomi, a rare victory in the ongoing comparison between the Jenkins and Sullivan family's daughters. Naomi, however, remained composed despite Irene's departure, her demeanor unchanged. Meanwhile, Damon, bewildered by the encounter, sought clarification from Naomi.
Is this why you asked me to come to Birch Real Estate?
I'm not that bored. My mother asked me to go back to Andover province sooner.
Are you discussing this with me?
Discuss? Will I discuss it with you?
Then I would like to ask you, Miss Sullivan, what are you doing in Hillwood?
Damon's inquiry led to a surprising revelation. Naomi wasn't in Hillwood to end their engagement, but to train him. Despite Irene's outburst, Naomi maintained her calm demeanor.
Do you believe what the lunatic said?
Sometimes a lunatic tells the truth.
Unperturbed, Naomi shifted the conversation to her mother's request for her return to Andover province. She entrusted Damon with matters at Birch Real Estate in her absence and revealed another task, meeting her mother, who disapproved of her arranged marriage.
That's great.
Damon's agreement surprised Naomi, prompting her to ponder his intentions. However, Damon's true desire was to distance himself from Naomi.
Miss Sullivan, you said that you don't like me, but you gave me money to buy clothes, and even wanted to drive me there. If you're interested in me, just say it directly. You don't have to do all these.
Get out.
Naomi's annoyance with Damon was palpable as she left Birch Real Estate. Before departing, she instructed Damon to meet her at Seasons Hotel in Andover Province later that evening, emphasizing the importance of punctuality. As Damon agreed, Naomi felt her frustration with him mounting. After leaving the company, Naomi drove directly to Andover Province. Later that evening, in the luxury private room of the Seasons Hotel, as the evening settled in, Naomi found herself in the opulent confines of the Seasons Hotel, joined by Irene and her own mother. The atmosphere was tense, with unspoken expectations hanging heavy in the air.
Madam, I went all the way for nothing today.
What's wrong? Naomi still doesn't want to come back?
Madam, I believe your taste shouldn't be too bad. I want to know if you've ever seen Naomi's fiancé. He's such a worse person.
Naomi's mother had heard this before. She had tried to dissuade Naomi before she went to Hillwood, but Naomi had always been independent.
A grown girl can't be kept at home. However, according to what you said, this man really can't stay.
I know, right? Now Naomi is obviously unable to do as much as she would like to. Let me tell you, Birch Real Estate looked promising. But in fact, Naomi was deliberately helping the man. I have calculated that Birch Real Estate earned less than 30% of its profits as a percentage of what it invested. Compared with Peony Garden, it is far worse. The profit we make in the past 3 years is at least close to double.
Irene said proudly, in 3 years, they could earn back all the money they invested. This meant that it was going to be pure profit in the future. From this point on, she had already outclassed Naomi. Naomi's mother was even more unhappy when she heard that Irene had made money. In her eyes, if Naomi hadn't gotten herself involved with such a good-for-nothing as Damon, it wouldn't be like this. No matter what, she would make sure Naomi divorced the man today. Naomi arrived, her demeanor shifting from the stoic facade of a CEO to that of a playful daughter in front of her mother.
Mom, what did you order today? Are they all my favorite dishes?
But as Naomi scanned the room, she noticed Irene's presence, her irritation bubbling beneath the surface.
I can't believe you still have the mood to eat. Look at Irene. I'm so pissed off by you.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? I ask you, did you not think about divorcing this man when you went to Hillwood? Your father is old, and he made the mistake of letting you be friends with Damon. But don't you have eyes?
Naomi's mother's words cut deep, questioning her daughter's judgment and choices. But Naomi, undeterred, held her ground, her conviction unwavering.
I have eyes.
It was because of her keen perception that she saw something different in Damon. Just then, Damon entered the room, his presence drawing the attention of everyone, including Irene, who couldn't resist a sly comment.
Oh, it's so interesting. One dares to invite him, and the other dares to come. Naomi, you guys are a good match.
Naomi remained silent, her thoughts racing as she processed the unexpected convergence of personalities in the room. Meanwhile, Damon, unaware of the tension, took note of Irene's presence, realizing her connection to Naomi's world. Before Damon's arrival, he had been aware of the Peony Gardens contract meetings for his companies. Yet, Damon chose to remain silent, observing Irene's inflated sense of self-importance as she reveled in her perceived success. But Damon had a different strategy in mind. He understood the art of playing the game, knowing that flattery could be a potent weapon in his arsenal. He bided his time, waiting for the opportune moment to turn the tables. As he entered the room and took his seat, Damon adopted a casual yet confident posture, crossing his legs like an old hand at the game.
Who's looking for me?
His words, delivered with a hint of nonchalance, belied the calculated intent behind them. Damon was ready to assert his presence and challenge the status quo, setting the stage for what was to come. The air in the room crackled with tension as Naomi's family observed Damon's demeanor. Naomi's mother, her gaze as piercing as icicles, shot daggers at Damon, her fury barely contained.
What attitude is this?
Why was he like that?
Naomi, have you suppressed me for so many years? All these years, the Sullivan family and the Jenkins family always compared me with you. Compared with you, I, Irene, was not as good looking as you, and not as talented in business as you. However, I'm not as lucky as you. I can't believe your family will introduce you to a man like this.
Irene, why must you provoke me at a time like this?
Naomi's mother's frustration boiled over as Irene's words struck a nerve. Her breathing slowed, but her anger remained palpable, threatening to erupt at any moment.
Andreas, are you blind?
Darling, what's wrong?
Let me tell you, if you're blind, don't harm my daughter. Otherwise, I won't forgive you.
Have you met Damon?
No, I saw a piece of trash. Andreas Sullivan, where did you find such trash?
It's good that you've met him. Be respectful of him.
What?
Naomi's mother stood there in utter disbelief, her mind reeling with confusion. Had she heard her husband correctly? The man who once doted on her every whim now seemed to side with Damon, a notion she couldn't fathom.
Andreas, you're crazy.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Naomi's mother struggled to comprehend the sudden change in her husband's demeanor. What had gotten into him? Her thoughts raced as she tried to make sense of the situation.
Mrs. Sullivan, it's inevitable that there will be some jerk in a woman's life. This is also considered an experience in life, so don't worry too much.
Naomi's mother seethed with anger at Irene's thinly veiled mockery, but she masked her emotions with practiced composure.
My daughter deserves better than to waste her time with such a man.
With those words, Naomi's mother turned and left, her footsteps heavy with determination. Naomi, her own anger simmering beneath the surface, hurried after her mother, determined to confront her about the situation.
Naomi, don't forget about the grand opening ceremony in 3 days at Peony Garden. You must be there.
Irene's mind raced with thoughts of success and status, fueled by the opportunity to impress the top company overseeing the Peony Garden. She saw it as her chance to outshine Naomi and cement her own place among the elite. Damon, ever observant, saw right through Irene's thought. He recognized her arrogance and penchant for comparison, understanding that she was bound to trip herself up eventually.
I hope you'll still be able to say that in 3 days.
Scumbag, what do you know? Forget it, you won't understand even if I tell you.
Irene's confidence soared as she envisioned herself being treated like royalty at the Peony Garden's opening ceremony. She relished the attention and influence she believed awaited her, fueled by the false rumors she had spread about the McAllister Club's involvement.
This feeling of subtly boasting was quite satisfying.
As Damon exited the building, his eyes fell upon Naomi's mother seated in Naomi's car, prompting him to pause and contemplate the turbulent events unfolding before him. Without uttering a word, Damon boldly opened the door of Naomi's car, surprising both Naomi and her mother.
Did we invite you to get in the car?
Ignoring Naomi's protest, Damon calmly settled into the car and began to occupy himself with his phone, unfazed by the tension surrounding him.
Get out of here!
Mom, please. Let's take him home first.
Despite her mother's outburst, Naomi couldn't shake the strange connection she felt with Damon. Though uncertain of its nature, she was determined to stand by him, even if it meant facing her family's disapproval.
I'm sorry. My mother can be difficult. I'll make it up to you later.
It's fine.
As they exchanged words, Naomi made a bold promise to Damon, offering him ownership of Birch Real Estate in Hillwood. Damon, taken aback by her unexpected gesture, couldn't help but wonder about Naomi's intentions.
What?
Naomi's commitment to supporting Birch Real Estate, despite her limited involvement, spoke volumes about her dedication and determination. Though their journey together had just begun, Naomi's actions left Damon pondering the true depth of her character. Fearful of her mother overhearing their conversation, Naomi discreetly pulled Damon away from the car, ensuring their privacy as she revealed her generous gesture.
Before leaving Hillwood, I've transferred Birch Real Estate to you. Treat her well.
Damon, taken aback by Naomi's continued support, couldn't help but feel grateful for her kindness.
Thank you.
Despite the tumultuous evening ahead, Naomi remained composed, offering Damon reassurance amidst the chaos.
Love is often irrational. Our relationship may be absurd, but it will soon come to an end.
With those words, Naomi walked away, leaving Damon to contemplate the unexpected turn of events. Determined to make a statement at the Sullivan family's home, Damon hailed a taxi and followed behind Naomi's car. Meanwhile, in Naomi's car, she engaged in what seemed like a serious conversation with her mother. However, Naomi's mother, consumed by agitation, paid little attention to her daughter's words. Suddenly, tragedy struck as their car veered into the wrong lane, colliding with a Ferrari and shattering their car into pieces.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great content. Click the notification bell so you never miss an update.